not a vampire, not an alien. I'm not the fucking mummy, I'm a goblin.
Welcome, Goblin Nation! Welcome! This time it's special! It's special like anything else. I'm the Twisted Goblin, and we're gonna review! And not so much review as talk about it. Not so much talk about it as disagreeing about the list. We're gonna look at the list. I actually have seen this happen before. Nobody's doing this! Well, no matter what. Now is somebody doing it. Actually, somebody was doing it before me, kind of thing. But I thought, like, I have no idea. So yes, I'm out of ideas for now. Well, on this day, on this moment, I'm like, I want to make a video. But I want it to be interesting, not another comic that I read fast. And I'm like, okay, let's do. What's something else? What's like a movie? There are 2 movies out, but I'm not gonna go watch them just because I want. I want those movies on Blu-ray. I'm gonna review. On Blu-ray, but then I was like, let's see what lists there are. It's seen that we can talk about a list. This is a list of Vulture. I don't know, that's the kind of thing. I wanna disagree, agree, disagree kind of thing. Anyway, so every Spider-Man movie villain ranked. They ranked them. They ranked them all that they do. Okay, so I'm gonna read a lot in this kind of thing, and I sometimes, because reading is not my specialty to do fast, it's gonna either go slow or very fuck that up kind of thing. Anyway, Spider-Man foes have never been focused of Spider-Man films in the way that the Joker or Lex Luthor. What? Are you talking? This is from 2019, right? Lex Luthor has been the main villain, but I feel like we got Dr. Octopus as the kind of thing. Yes, they're all one-off villains in the movies, kind of thing, most of all. But so is Lex Luthor, isn't he? I mean, in the series he's not in this, but TV shows are different than movies, kind of thing. Because in the cartoons, we see Spider-Man having enough villains that return. That have their return in the next movie, in the next episode, or 5 episodes after, is a big villain of the season. And of thing! That's what we got of those kind of thing. But that's not what it's the kind of thing. Anyway, so Lex Luthor Thanos has another superheroes movie. None of the bad guys in Spider-Man comics has ever come close to the culture catch of those villains. Do they? I mean, Lex Luthor, Joker. I feel like, yes, the Joker is Batman kind of thing, but Spider-Man has the Green Goblin kind of thing as his really nemesis. I'm the Twisted Goblin! I actually got more from the Hobgoblin. The kind of thing. I'm a rip-off of the rip-off. Because there is first the Green Goblin, then he ripped off kind of thing, became the Hobgoblin. The Hobgoblin gets his ass, everything stolen from him, and then had the Twisted Goblin! You're welcome. You guys know my origin story now. Anyway, so I feel like this is already a disagreement kind of thing going on, and we're not even at the list yet! That's so weird, isn't it? I mean, I feel like there are Dr. Octopus, real great villain kind of thing, but he is like, there are some villains that are like always like, Venom is a big villain of Spider-Man. Spider-Man has this more villains that he goes through and a rogue gallery kind of thing, but I feel like the green, if you think about Spider-Man, you think about Dr. Oct or Carnage or Venom. Those are the 2, 3. I feel, yeah, you can see that he has not a main, but he has so many cool villains. That's the difference. I feel like Batman has Joker as a real cool villain. Well, Spider-Man, like a Green Goblin kind of thing, a cool Electro, cool villain in general, not on this kind of thing. Venom, great villain. But the great villains of Spider-Man had their own stories kind of going on. It's like Dr. Octopus became this kind of good anti-hero. He had this whole story, and then for only his mind wipe-offs would never happen. That's stupid. But for the rest, he had the cool kind of villain arc. He had this kind of thing. So yes, they could not use him as much because he's a hero now. So he became good. But Green Goblin, I feel like they could use more. But he has like this kind of thing where the serum. He got cured for a while, and that made him a little bit like, okay, we cannot use him. Then we had Carnage, that was an amazing villain, but then Venom became an anti-hero, became this kind of thing. What made Carnage going like, oh, and that's my villain. I need to go to Venom. Venom is a kind of a big villain. It was mostly Spider-Man's villain, but then Venom gets his own story. So Venom is more Carnage. His Venom is a villain, even though Venom is actually Spider-Man. So there's a lot of. I think it's maybe more like they're too great. There's too many awesome, great characters in Spider-Man. This is just my opinion! You know, lists are opinion based. And my opinion is there's maybe too much that's so cool characters that everybody wants to spin off. Everybody wants to kind of. The Green Goblin, you don't, but the Green Goblin is also been while the Joker is just a Spider and Batman villain kind of thing. He has the Legion of Doom, but like Oscorp kind of thing is this whole boy corporation that has big ties to Spider-Man, but also can go bigger. It has the Dark Avengers, has made his own team kind of thing. Well, I don't see the Joker doing that. Yeah, sure, Lex Luthor did the Legion of Doom kind of thing, and he has this own thing. So they're kind of, it's hard to tell. But it's like one villain, while Spider-Man has the Sinister Six. I feel like if you go for Spider-Man, maybe the Sinister Six, the group kind of thing. I don't see Batman having a whole group going against. I think, or maybe could be wrong. I'm just trying to defend Spider-Man here. Anyway, so Lex Luthor or even Thanos has been in. Well, Thanos is a big cosmic villain that you cannot actually get him to be because Lex Luthor, sure, he is the Legion of Doom kind of leader. But he joins another villain. Thanos is like this single villain kind of thing most of the time. He's the biggest villain when you fight against him. While in the Legion of Doom, it was like a bigger villain. While Lex Luthor, yes, he's like the one that does all the puppets kind of thing. But still, anyway, let's talk more. Response of the last human into trying to take out all powerful aliens who remind us of our own weaknesses. But how do you play off the Queen's teenager who is his nature flip side? It's tough to find one. Dude, you ground him, you keep grounding kind of thing. It's easy to fucking there is cosmic villains. There are cosmic villains, there are thing. That's why I like Jessica Jones. Maybe mostly why I like Jessica Jones. She's like very down to earth. She has all messed up. Her life is always messed up. She tries to kind of thing, but she knows nothing is gonna stay. There's always gonna be kind of thing. And even though she is not the best kind of, while heroes like Spider-Man, like so many others, feel like, oh, I can do this. My life is happy. My life is it's going back down. But it's not happy. While Jessica Jones's life keeps on being the same road, being like kind of thing. She has this better life, but she knows on the corner there's gonna be another one. While Spider-Man feel like. Anyway, that's a whole other discussion. I'm already having a lot of discussion here going on. This is gonna be a big discussion. I'm not even at the ranking yet. Oh my god. Well, anyway, so no offense to some of the excellent actors who have battled Spidey, but in the end, they're beating up on a kid. It's an uphill battle. Yeah, sure, he has a kid in the movies-ish, because actually, like, the actors are, like, in the 30s, besides Tom Holland. It's like, yeah, but you don't see that on the mask. It's like somebody that's 70, like, yeah, are you 80 or 70? You cannot see that because it's only a year different. So, just to be lucky, to be I cannot come out on the word. Like, to be... Oh, come on, man, my brain! Come on, brain! Give it to me. Well, to be or not to be, kind of thing. Not to be! You not be that. You don't go, kind of thing. If you think she's 18, but she kind of could be 17, just don't touch that until 5 years later, kind of thing. Just to be sure. Because you never know. Kind of thing, like even though if you're 20, I mean if you're 30, yeah, but like don't do that, that's weird. But anyway, so yeah, here is a ranking of 12 villains from each Spider-Man film made so far, including this week's Spider-Man Far From Home. Wow, so this is made one. Far From Home was that. Anyway, Peter Parker, but a few have their moments. And spoilers alert, we will be talking about Surprise Betty. So on 12th, this Vulture kind of thing did Electro on 12th. I feel like, okay, I can see that in the movies. I love Amazing Spider-Man. The second one was a bit a little thing, but I still love it more than the normal. I actually have this, like, I like Dr. Octopus on the Spider-Man movies. I love him! He was great, but I feel like losing his powers again, I felt like that was stupid. I didn't like that. Let's see, like, in the first one, he just got him. And the second one, he loses him again. Oh my god, we're just 2 movies and he's already losing them. It's like, why? I don't like, there was like a one part I didn't like from the movies that keep on haunting me that he just like, okay, my powers don't work anymore. Besides that, I actually like the movie much more than Amazing Spider-Man 2, but still, there is, I feel like after we got like the Amazing Spider-Man, I liked the actors that played Spider-Man. It was really great. I liked actually a lot about him. I liked him that he was a cooler kid, even though that's not what Spider-Man. Spider-Man is a nerd. Well, you know, Tom Holland kind of thing, or new Marvel Spider-Man. It's like what Spider-Man should be. While this one guy was way too handsome for Spider-Man. He was a great Spider-Man, but not so good Peter Parker if you want him not to look good. Anyway, so we got the Electro kind of thing. Here is a helpful rule of thumbs. If you're making a superhero movie, don't have your bad guy dress up all in blue. X-Men are couple. Well, I don't think that's the issue with X-Men Apocalypse kind of thing. The issue was there. He is blue normally, but he doesn't look anything like him because he is more as like a bolty Hulk kind of machine kind of thing with armor on him from Sanchez. That's Apocalypse. This was a fucking Power Ranger villain. So that's not the same. That's not the same comparison. But they had some. Electro was not well done, great. Also, I feel like they lacked like too many villains. If you had more focused on Electro and just working things for the next movie instead of, hey, here's all at the ending, the Green Goblin. That's not actually the Green Goblin, but he just looks like somebody that threw balls. Don't throw the balls, man! And then goes into, it's like in this movie we went from, okay, he's this, the Green Goblin becomes slowly a villain kind of thing, and all that while Electro stuff is going on. Then Electro got better, then the Green Goblin kind of thing killed it. There are like too many stories in one, dressed into one. That was the kind of thing. Anyway, they're a respectful franchise, and James Fox betrays of Nerdy Max. Yeah, that nerdy thing, I didn't like as well. It was a little bit weird there. To blame all the Oscar-winning actor all through his cartoonish portrayal of Dylan, who will become the all-powerful Electro, is brought in a way that modern-day superhero movies try to avoid. But like Oscar Isaac and Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's trapped behind, I'm sure, makeup. I don't think that's not a problem. Normally, he should not be on makeup. That's the problem. His mask. It's like his mask kind of thing. The makeup was not the problem. I think because there was makeup, you saw his look better. But I don't think we needed that. I think we needed a mask, like his Electro mask, a very comic book villain kind of thing. That's what we needed! But we didn't get that! He's trapped behind makeup CGI, which makes the character seem mostly lifeless, not terrifying. I feel like I said, it's not that problem. The most problem I got from this Electro was that he was like not the bigger. He was the big villain, but there was too much cramped into it. That was my only problem with it. I mean, sure, the character itself was like, I didn't feel like feeling for him, like he was this nerdy guy that fell into. I was like, I don't care. Anyway, then 11, we got Venom. I don't get it. They do. Maybe this is because they only do the Spider-Man movie villains, because the Spider-Man movie that we got from without Spider-Man. I felt it was great. Venom. Sure, it was not the best movie ever or the best film kind of thing, but it was good. I liked it. It was better than Spider-Man, and that's why he is on 11. I think like the Topher Grace Spider-Man 3 kind of thing. He was not the best. He was more Carnage kind of thing going on. It's more this Carnage, chaotic kind of thing going on than being Eddie Brock, a muscle kind of thing. He is actually, he trained the Venom in kind of thing in the cartoon that I used to watch. He trained after he gets the Venom symbiote. He trained and became this muscle kind of thing. Like what we actually got with Venom kind of thing. And that's why he has also this kind of Venom suit going on. It was really entertaining. Anyway, so even before Tom Hardy played the muscular but extremely weird Venom. I don't think that was weird Venom, actually that is Venom. I mean, he is a bit much more hero now, but it's a beginning. But that's actually how Venom was. And less eating, maybe not eating heads, he would be loving that at first. Anyway, last year's surprise and truly bizarre hit Rafe was an odd fit as the journalist who become a symbiote with an alien being transforming into Spider-Man's hated enemy. Grace is straightly smug before he turns into Venom. As I felt like in that movie, Sandman was better. Also, why is Sandman not on here? Sandman even on here? I don't know. Yeah, Sandman is on here. He's 6. Okay, good to know. He's actually very good. Anyway, so Electro, Venom. We got the Venom. I'm not gonna read everything because I'm already. How long have I been busy? 60 minutes, Jesus Christ, and I'm only at... Alright, we're gonna go a little bit further. Rhino! The idea of... Yeah, super villain. Rhino was not so much because he was at the ending, like in the beginning and the ending. He was not so this big giant thing, so I'm not gonna go into that, why Rhino is. But I think if they don't do him right, if they're the kind of thing, I can see him being a cool thing. But right now, I didn't like him, I didn't hate him because I didn't have lots of opinion. He was like just there. I feel like Rhino should be on 12 because he didn't have anything to do. He was not much on it. Yes, like first he was not Rhino, then he was Rhino. That's it. And then the Green Goblin 9, but the Dane DeHaan, the Amazing Spider-Man 2 Green Goblin. I already talked about him kind of thing, that he was cramped into that kind of thing. I'm gonna skip that because that's all I got to say for it. The Lizard. I think the Lizard was a great thing. I mean, a lot of people think that because they got the sequel. So I think so fans may have seemed like a strange choice to play an head villain in a big reboot, massive superhero franchise. He may have been the only actor less known than Andrew Garfield at the time. But unfortunately, the thing is how the fact, dude, less actors unknown is better. I feel like you should give some other actors a cool kind of thing. If they do good, if they don't, they can go become the next Iron Man. I mean, come on, why not? You know, why not? Let some female actors go. Never gets on less much of it. The closer world builder, you can see him trying to bridge something more to the role without a lot of success. I think he did perfectly. I felt like it was great. It was perfectly villain. I liked it. Maybe his whole CGI could be a bit better because his nose is like he should look like an alligator. His nose is but like somebody's like push it. All right, it's almost blood. Go on. All right, now that's the face that we love. It's the face we love. That's kind of thing. Anyway, then we got Dr. Octopus kind of thing, but from the Spider-Man and into the Spider-Verse kind of thing. So I like that kind of thing. It was a bit weird because they were like those plastic kind of thing, but it was, even though she was not a main villain, she was like there just, and her name was Liv. It was like, okay, it's like, oh, but my friends call me Liv, but my enemies call me Dr. Octopus kind of thing. Anyway, my friends actually call me Liv. My enemies call me Dr. Ock. Yeah, that's it. Catherine has been on tier of late between Transformed Bad Moms and Private Life, so it was deeply rewarding to discover in the midst of Into the Spider-Verse that she was a voice gender switched Dr. Octopus. It's relatively small role, yeah. The gift of it surprised that the villain is female, but at the same authority slightly considers tone she wielded so well on Parks, blah blah blah. Elsewhere works very well. Delightful rethink of Spider-Man saga. Maybe she can become, you know, for somebody that sets this on 7, I cannot disagree on anything that they say here. It's like, okay, I can see that. I feel like it's weird that she's only at 7. Feels like somebody you would at least this ranking give me. Anyway, then on 6, Sandman. Hey, Mr. Sandman, give me a dream. I'll be the greatest you ever see. Oh ho ho ho. Anyway, Chuck had recently been Oscar nominated for his wonderful performance in Sideways. When he was strapped to play, I don't think he was strapped. I feel like it would have been better if he was focused, if he was only the Sandman kind of thing. If the movie was just throw Venom out of it, throw him out of it, set it up for the next movie, and that should be in it. That should be all that it. That Sandman is the big villain. Sandman does chaos kind of thing. Just wanted to save his daughter because that's cool. Him trying to save his daughter in any ways he can, because he cannot do this, but time is running out. She's sick, so he is going to. I won't do that for my daughter. If I know for sure I can do it, because you know, if I fail, it's not gonna do anything. Anyways, so performances, blah blah, who just want to help his alleged daughter Penny. The character is unquestionably the most interesting, complex villain in Spider-Man 3, which means, of course, he gets shot off the screen for all the big set pieces. I would not say that. Chuck has said he's happy he did the role, but that the character didn't exactly turn out the way he planned it. Still, the occurrence himself better than everyone else in the film, and his transformation scene holds up better than you might think. His transformation, his all emotional transformation was so very good. I felt like this should be just the villain Sandman. The Spider-Man 3 should be just Sandman kind of as the villain. I think then we would even have a 4th Spider-Man movie. Then we already at 7 or 8 right now. But we would have a lot of Spider-Man villains. We would have the Sinister 6 movie, I think, by now. And if they only focused on Sandman, I felt like Sandman was a great kind of thing. Anyway, we're gonna talk about Mysterio. Met Jack Kendall Hall, Spider-Man Far From Home. I thought his name was Dylan. Why did I thought it was Dylan? No. For a long time, fans heroes of Jack Gyllenhaal. Oh, that was why. Gyllenhaal. Anyway, in Far From Home was cheeky callback to an era not that long ago, when it looked like the actor might replace Tobey Maguire in the Spider-Man 2. Oh yeah, it was the man that he's gonna be Spider. But he's way too old, man! Anyway, blah blah, we get success. The sweet kid of Moonlight, waba. The performance father figure for Spider-Man, who is, yeah, he was like a spider at another. I need the fucking father figure! Oh, you! Hey, Mysterio! I like you! Let's be a kind of thing. And then he ended up being the villain, and then got blamed on Spider-Man, so Spider-Man is now the villain. Anyway, 4, the Kingpin. But not just any Kingpin, it's not from Daredevil, it's the Kingpin from the Spider-Man and Spider-Verse. That was the main villain of that kind of thing. And I liked it! I think they did really well. More is not to say, but maybe the most underrated villain in the Marvel canon. Yeah, I would not say that. I think he's not underrated, he's just pretty good, pretty nice, great rated. I think right now with this kind of thing, he's rated just fine. I don't see any big deal. Why are you making a big deal? Stop making a big deal. Got it? Okay. Anyway, so yeah, Daredevil and the Punisher. He previously appeared in there. Yeah. Blah blah. He's been in a couple movies. We get it. Okay, now Green Goblin. The Green Goblin! From William Dafoe Spider-Man. You know, the first Spider-Man movie we ever got. Kind of thing. To prepare William Dafoe for his dual role of Norman Osborn and the Green Goblin. In The Amazing Spider-Man 2, it was Norman's son Harry who was the villain. Director, Sam blah 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 blah, the Oscar nominated actor who took it from unfairly or the fly has long to blah blah blah, this more performance kind of thing, on limb preaching for the blah blah character. While the certain goes big in Spider-Man, there is a playfulness that keeps the portrayal from feeling self-regarding. As the Green Goblin, Dafoe, I know I say his name wrong, but whatever, is hurt a little by his cheesy-looking costume. He's basically the demanded Power Ranger, but the movie gives his fans an opportunity to finally see him act exactly opposite from himself on screen. He's done better work, but he's maybe never been quite this fun. I mean, I like the Spider-Man. I didn't see any comics then. Like, Spider-Man was the only thing I know, but I saw the cartoon, and that's about it. And when I see this, I was like, cool! Then later, I find out how he really looks in the comics, how he kind of this, and it started to grow on me. Took a couple of years before he growed on me. But eventually, I'm like, okay, I wanted to see this version now. Now I'm like, I wanted that version! That version looked good! That version I would love to see on in a kind of thing. And yeah, he's like, he didn't need, I feel like a mask and kind of thing going on. A helmet of a motorcycle. Oh, I didn't need to. But you know, you got him! So anyway, so I didn't have anything bad or kind of thing. Then we got The Vulture with Michael Keaton. So they say the recent Michael blah blah, he was excellent in Birdman, blah blah. There's just lots of like, hey, this is what his former roles are. This is the biggest DC heroes helping. This is blah blah blah. The Vulture and Spider-Man bad guy. The MCU has not a vague age featured some weak villains, but Homecoming was one of the happy accidents, expectations, putting Tom Holland's sweet, geeky Peter Parker against Adrian, hard-working guy who loses his business thanks to Tony Stark. Keaton plays the man as wearily and respectful, wanting to take his anger out on the world. And Eric doesn't even know yet that his arch nemesis is dating his daughter. It's a clinch that the best villains don't think of themselves as villains. Blah blah, trusting to life in blah blah. Spider-Man stands 222, both relatable. Well, I would say like he's making profits. It's literally, it's like going in a war after the war is done and you find people dead and the guns still look good. It's like, okay, let's break that kind of thing. The war is over, now we can sell this kind of thing. It's illegal. You cannot do that. It's illegal to sell those things. So it's not and he's like makes this whole profit of it kind of thing, selling weapons to fucking villains, to enemies, to all those people, kind of thing, making those very dangerous weapons going if you sell them to the government, that would be something else, kind of thing, or you sell them to defend yourself, somebody else kind of thing, or being a hero, that's all fine and everything, but you sell them to fucking villains, to dangerous people. That's why you draw a line. That's where I would draw the line. Anyway, so yeah, but he is like this friend, he has a daughter, he is just too much power hungry that he wants money, he wants to make money, and the best way to do this is this way, kind of thing. So anyway, he could have just another job like anybody else, but no. I mean, you're a mechanic, you can do the school machine, you made a Vulture for crying out loud! That much money, you can just do so much more with that than going to villain, but you know, anyway. So yeah, he was a pretty good villain. I really liked it. Then on 1, we got Alfred Molina as Spider-Man 3. Casting Molina, an actor who has been mentioning, but also absolutely delightful at charming, was a brilliant cop for a film that needs us empathized with its bad guy. That This Doc Ock is immediately so close to Peter Parker makes his descent into madness and villainy not just scary but sad. You cheer for him as much as I would not say I cheered for him. At the end I do, like, oh, he's gonna destroy it. I felt for him when he is like, oh, gonna save it, because it's the chip that makes him kind of thing. Also in this new Spider-Man game, he's great too. I mean, it's not the actor that plays him, but the Dr. Octopus kind of thing was a really cool villain at that, and even more in which I felt like in the game it was even way better. It was even better than Dr. Octopus got in the movie. But yeah, that's one movie. I felt like the one F kind of thing. I felt like right now you have to build a little bit of the world. You have to tease other things, but you don't put them in the kind of thing like they do in some movies. Like, here is a tease, but instead of just teasing, we're gonna make this whole kind of thing. Anyway, so yeah, I liked it. This list, on one I can agree. I felt like it was great. He was a great Dr. Octopus. I felt like the only ones I disagree is Sandman could have been before the Green Goblin. I felt like Green and Kingpin. I felt like the Sandman could somewhere between Dr. Octopus, the cartoon. I feel like you can mention them, but it's like she's not that much into it. It's like there's nothing much on her. But if you wanna put it on a list, sure. The Lizard, 8, yeah, sure, 8, why not? The Green Goblin, I would actually pick the Green Goblin. No, I think he. Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much the list. That's all I got for you. What do you guys think? I know I've been a half hour, man, a half hour of me, kind of thing, talking about this list of what my thoughts about are on this list. Let me know what you guys think of my list. Well, not my list. It's not my list. I didn't pick it. I just went to it and what my opinions are about Vulture by Tim Grayson, cool last name, and Will Lentz. So every Spider-Man movie villain ranked. So I went off that and I gave my opinions about it. What are your opinions about it? You guys agree with the list? Or do you disagree what this should be, this movie? I went all over the list. I went all over it and I talked about it. And I hope you enjoyed this. It's maybe you're not enjoyed it. Maybe you're like, yeah, this is a bit long. It's not so good. I'm like, don't ever do that again. Let me know if you never want to see this again. Or you want to see this again. Let me all know, my friends. Let me all know. Let the Goblin Nation know. And we can grow in whatever way you want. This was like this one-off thing that I want to try. Maybe I'm gonna do more if you guys like it. If you want to see more, let me know. It was fun for doing this like talk kind of thing. I liked it. I liked having a little bit of fun with it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a lovely Goblin day. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.
I do it all because I'm evil. And I do it all for free. Your tears are all